All right, ladies, this is an amazing, amazing guest. You are going to love her as much as we love her. So get excited. Please, 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 Natasha, tell the world who you are in your own words.
Yes, I am Natasha Bryant. I am a psychotherapist, mindset coach, mental health expert, and the owner of Speed Like Transformation, a mental health and wellness practice located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And my mission, my goal has been to really bring mental health, wellness, and education outside of those therapy walls and bring it to your homes, bring it to your schools, bring it to your community, to really bring awareness of mental health and talk about it in ways of helping people recognize that mental health is not just about a diagnosis, but it's all things. Anything related to your mind, body, spirit is all part of mental health. And so just really helping people understand that. And then on the coaching end, helping professional women and entrepreneurs shift from feeling hesitant to confident when pursuing their goals so they can live their best life as their best self unapologetically.
Thank you. Thank you. We are so excited that you're here.
Yes, and you actually said a magic word, one of our favorite words, unapologetically.
That part.
Yes.
Yeah.
To ourselves
Yes.
So you're known for saying that your mission is to help people live their best life unapologetically. What is the moment in your own life when you realize that you may not have been living that way unapologetically, and like what changed?
Yeah, I think starting my business is when I realized it. I didn't realize that I was like following a mediocre plan until God challenged me to do the extraordinary. Right, I
Mm.
had a whole plan that was working. Right, like I was following the plan. The plan was working. Even if I got off the plan, I got back on track of the plan. Right, and it was a plan I created right when I started undergrad. And I didn't realize it was mediocre in the sense of I just saw what options I could do within my career. And I was like, oh, I like this option. How do people usually get there? Okay, I'll follow that plan, right? And that's a bit mediocre. I wasn't doing anything that was different or extraordinary. It was just following the plan that other people follow when it comes to like being a therapist, right? But then when God was like, you know what, you should be doing something more, right? Like, why are you about to give a practice a percentage of your worth so you can take the full 100%? And I was like, you know what, God, you're right. Why am I about to do that? And then as a result of taking that leap, I found out more things about myself. I found out more like skill sets and aspects about me that I didn't even know existed. And I started to be more fearless in the midst of me following my own plan and doing things, doing extraordinary things that I could even imagine myself doing.
That's so good. You said a trigger word in a good way when you were talking about the fear and what it did. So I know that a lot of women that you work with, or that you probably just even realize in the scope of what you do, struggle with feeling like they're not ready to take action. As you talked about how you took action when you realized it was
Mhm.
mediocre and it was not what God had for you.
Mhm.
You also teach about doing it scared. That's something I know you have
Yeah.
and you do it say a lot. But what does
Mhm.
that mean? And why is fear actually a sign to move forward versus staying still?
Yeah, I tell people all the time, emotions are just energy, right? Just energy
Mhm.
we feel in our bodies. And so the same type of energy that's produced when you're feeling fearful is the same type of energy that's produced when you're excited, right? It's the same thing. Bubble guts in your stomach, your heart might be racing, sweaty palms, right? It's the same exact thing. It's all about just what you decide to do with that energy. Do you decide to use that energy to cause you to hesitate, to pause, to not move forward, which would be fear? Or you're going to decide to use that energy and level of excitement where you're looking forward to something. You're ready. You have momentum and motivation and to move forward, right? And so it's really all about how you decide to use that energy. And so doing it scared is recognizing that it's just an emotion, right? And just because I'm feeling scared or I'm feeling this emotion doesn't mean I still can't move forward. I can use this energy to motivate me to be bold, right? I can still feel fearful and feel scared about something and use this to move forward and be courageous, right? And I say that because many people say when they're scared, oh, I can't do it because I'm scared. Or I'm scared because I can't move. And it's like, no, you can still be scared and bold at the same time. You can still be scared and courageous at the same time. And you don't have to freeze and stop just because you're experiencing the emotion, because it's just an emotion. It's not the reality of your situation. It's just an emotion that you're experiencing.
And I love how you said and not but, because but cancels everything. So you can be
Yeah.
and do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mhm.
Listen, if your business isn't bringing in the money you know it should be, there's a reason.
And no, it's not because you need to post more, hustle harder, or do another Instagram or TikTok trend.
The problem? You don't have a process to turn what you do into a real, repeatable profit.
And that's exactly why we're hosting the Process to Profit free webinar on May the 29th. We're showing you how to stop throwing spaghetti at the wall and run your business like a true CEO.
Inside this free webinar, we're giving you the blueprint to build a business that makes money consistently instead of just when clients feel like booking, create a system that brings in cash without you always being in hustle mode, finally start seeing the results you've been working so hard for.
If you're tired of wondering when your next sale is coming, it's time to fix the gaps in your business.
Grab your spot now, because what we're teaching is exactly what's missing in your business.
Click the link to make sure that you're in the virtual room, and let's get your business making the money that it should be.
That part.
At the same time, and often do. So you have mentioned that you don't just work with individuals, you also provide like workplace wellness programs, which I think is so excellent for the places that accept that and welcome that. Why is mental wellness so important in business settings, and how can entrepreneurs and businesses, business leaders prioritize team well-being?
Yeah, you can't work at your best. Like, you can't produce your best work if you are stressed and pressed, right? If you're feeling burnout, right? If you are experiencing any type of physiological responses because of the stress, you will not be able to show up as your best self and doing your best work, right? And I think in the past, it's always been this like church state separation in businesses when it comes to like mental health and work. It's like, well, this is your mental health. You talk about that at home. We're not going to talk about that here. But since the pandemic, a lot of corporations have recognized that, oh, so if my employees' mental health is not in a stable state, or not, if the workplace is causing stress, then they're not going to be able to produce their best work, right? And so it's recognizing that you have to take care of yourself, your mental health. You have to take breaks at work. You have to set boundaries at work. You have to be able to, know what your capacity is, ask for help, delegate if you're a leader, right? So that you do not burn yourself out and go beyond your capacity.
Yeah. When you say capacity, can you talk to me deeper about capacity? Even when how to recognize when I don't have the capacity, but I still do the work anyway. How do I recognize what my capacity level is and have the courage and conviction to say, I don't have enough for this? Like, how does
Yeah.
that work? Because I know a lot of women, especially high achievers, will keep it going anyway, even though they don't have it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll give an example for me. Like, I learned my capacity, like when I'm on the computer doing work and I'm pushing and pushing myself, I literally feel the fogginess in my brain. Like, I literally cannot compute. Like, being able to use problem solving skills, critical thinking. And because I've been in front of the computer, I might even feel like pressure in my eyes. I might actually feel physical, tension in my head. And so those are just examples of your body telling you we are stressed, right? And so for me, that's what I know, like, I'm at my capacity. I need to take a break, right? And if I keep pushing myself, I'm not going to do my best work anyway. So I need to just stop. And the courage within that is recognizing that, because the thought would say, but you're not going to get it done if you don't finish this. It's never going to get done, right? Or if you don't do it now, you're not going to be able to do X later, right? Or you're not allowed to take a break until you finish X, right? And it's recognized. No, who said that? Like, you're the one making these rules. Nobody else is making these rules but you, right? And so it's recognizing that it is okay to take a break. It's okay to pause. It's okay to say, hey, I'm not answering emails after 6 p.m., right? Because I know that if I keep working, I'll be beyond my capacity, because you're not going to be able to do your best work if you push yourself. You got to think about what's more important, finishing the work or doing your best work. And recognizing what's more important, because you can finish the work, but it's not going to be your best work.
That's true.
That makes so much sense. Okay, so, and I wish we had like tons and tons and tons of time, because we could just keep this going. So just to round it out, and there's of course no right or wrong answer, but we would just love to know, what is one thing that you would tell a female entrepreneur, about owning her story. And we feel like you're just,
Mm.
I'm excited to hear your answer on this one.
Yeah, actually, that's one of I have a acronym. It's called Own You, or You Own You. Excuse me, You Own You,
Mm,
and You is an acronym. And one of the aspects in that is talking about honor your story, right? It's like honoring your own truth. The reason why this is so important is because when you are not honoring your own truth, and that's your truth could be, and when I say your truth, I'm talking about your story, like your history, right? Your experiences, decisions you've made, who you are authentically, mistakes, imperfections, right? The good, the bad, strength, all the things, right? Owning it all. Because a lot of times when we don't own ourselves, we try to hide the things that we're not the most proud of, or we try to hide things that we don't think will meet the expectations of others. And then when we're hiding, that means we're then also trying to be something that we're not, right? And so that ends up adding more stress because you don't end up showing up as your true self. You don't end up being able to, you end up, even for your business, you don't end up making decisions based on what you actually want for your business because you were thinking about, well, is this going to be acceptable to others? Are other people going to buy this? Are other people going to accept this? Right. But when you honor your own truth, when you honor what you truly want, when you honor who you truly are, good, bad, and all in between, then there's a level of freedom that you have, not worrying about the opinions of others. And also, there's a freedom that you have where you give yourself permission to do what you truly want to do fully without any hesitation, without any doubt that comes along with that.
Now that was a power pack. If y'all don't get that, y'all need to rewind it and listen again. Because she said a whole sermon and then some that will bless your entire life if you let it. So thank you for preaching to our ladies. You know, pack your collection plate, donate to our girl Natasha right down here.
I love
absolutely.
it.
So again, and like Sha said, you need to just check her out. I mean, she's been a part of the Medicine of Boss community for a little bit, so we know a little bit more about it than you may. Please go ahead and check her out. She has some good stuff going on. If you would like to be a part of this series, please go ahead and check us out on our links. If you're going to be looking forward to the next episode, we have some more power packed ladies in store. The Minister of the Bus community is growing. With that being said, thank you so much for joining us, Natasha. It's always a pleasure every time we see and talk to you. It's always so insightful. And I know that some woman somewhere is benefiting, prospering, and you're giving her permission to address some of these things in her life. So thank you so much for coming on to share.
Thank you for having me, ladies. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, ladies, we will see you on the next time.